Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl at Miss Dosula Ogola, founder and creator of this beautiful space. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. It's free, so go ahead and do it. So in this video, we're talking about self-trust, trusting yourself. Trusting yourself is something that if you do not have, it's a quality that if you struggle with, can be very detrimental for yourself in your life, because basically life is made up of a series of decisions. You actually have to decide what you're going to do next, what you're going to eat, what you're going to pursue as a career, whether you're going to get married or not, have kids or not. And at some point you have to trust that you are doing the right thing for yourself, and you have to be able to make these decisions for yourself. So for me, the journey towards self-trust is actually began for me when I realized that I did not trust myself at all, and it was like a crisis. I realized one day that I'm all grown up, but I cannot decide. I cannot make decisions without asking someone, what should I do? And most of the time when you go asking these people, what should I do? They also don't know what you should be doing. So they will give you either very vague statements, and you can't blame them because really it is your life, and you should be able to trust yourself enough in order for you to be able to make decisions in your life that can be good and even bad and still be okay with them. So I remember one day I was seated with this lady that I respect. I agreed with her on most of the things that I was being taught and all of that by her. So I sat with her and we were having coffee at this fancy restaurant, and I just told her, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know if I can trust myself to make good decisions for my life, to be able to do something without looking and asking, should I do this, should I do that, or feeling like I'm doing the wrong thing all the time. The first question that came was, how's your prayer life? And I was like, I'm praying, girl. I'm praying. The praying is not the issue. The fact is, I don't trust anything that I'm doing. Whether what I'm hearing is from God, what I'm hearing is from me, what I'm hearing is from the universe, what I'm hearing, I don't know who I am, and I cannot trust myself. I remember leaving that meeting feeling like nothing has changed. It came back to an issue of, are you being spiritual enough or not? And for me, Christianity, it made me lose a lot of trust within myself. And yes, with everything, there are positives and negatives. Let me just be they're like positives and negatives, pros and cons. The thing about growing up in religion, because I was taken to church, I was not really much so super spiritual at home, but I remember when I was in high school, getting into Form 1, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it from Form 1 to Form 4 with these girls, The first thing that promised me hope, that was hope and strength and anchor, was Christianity. And I remember I jumped into CU because I felt like I needed something that is going to help me make decisions, push forward, because there were a lot of decisions in high school that I had to make, and I needed something to help me make those decisions. All the way from Form 1 to Form 4, a lot of what happened was a lot of indoctrination and a lot of teachings that were very right now some are helpful because everything is nuanced. You get, things can be beneficial and it can reach a point whereby it's not beneficial anymore to you in your life and all of that. So there was a lot of spiritual bypassing, and what we mean by spiritual bypassing, let me just highlight that, hiding behind spiritual experiences or spirituality. So a lot of the emotions I felt, the minute we took the conversation to that place of what feels good to you or what feels right to you, the question was, Dosila, your heart is deceitful, you cannot trust it, honey. And in that moment I'd be like, it feels good, but can I really trust myself because my heart is deceitful? It feels right, but can I really trust myself to make this decision? So for me, a lot of it just became paralysis, I was not able to trust myself enough to make decisions. I'm gonna say this: Christianity is good, but everything is nuanced. Nothing is just all positive, to be honest. It was just some negative experiences and some positive experiences, and some of them I'm coming to realize them right now in my late 20s, and just trying to understand myself. And I'm like, where did this begin? Where did this self-distrust begin? Why can't I make a decision and move forward with it? Why am I not able to just trust myself and be like, you know what, I'm doing that. Whether it works out for me or it doesn't work out for me, I'm going ahead and I'm doing it, and whatever happens after that, I'm gonna deal with it, because it was my decision, it was my choice, and I'm not making that decision because I'm gonna be successful at it or not. I'm making that decision because I trust myself. I trust myself to decide for myself, because a lot of these questions that I have about life are not black and white in the Bible. These are some of the questions that I really actually have to sit down with myself and be quiet and make a decision and build on my self-trust. I remember I went to this high school. It was a mentorship session, and there's this activity that we did with the girls. The activity is called value voting. So the girls are basically just meant to identify their values from a couple of statements that we were reading out to them, and they were either to agree, disagree, or stay in the middle ground, if they're not sure about the decision that they're meant to make. When I saw how bold those girls were in some of the statements that we were throwing out at them, and choosing their side and being like, this is what I think, this is what I believe, and and I'm standing on my own thoughts on this, and they were like, you go, girl. When I saw how bold these girls were, when they were making these decisions for themselves and agreeing and disagreeing, one of the statements were girls are generally not good in sciences, and other one is girls should be virgins when they're getting married. Some were agreeing, some were disagreeing, some were in the middle, and they're confused, and they're just battling their voice, religion, society, what they want, what they don't want, and all of that, and just giving them that space to know that it's okay to decide for yourself. It's okay to weigh your options. It's okay to listen to yourself, within yourself. It's okay to know when you're being led by religion, when you're being led by friends, when you're being led by society. It's okay to know all of that, but what should guide you at the end of the day is what is within you and what is within your heart, that decision that you make for yourself. And for me, that was very inspirational, and I did not have that, when I was in high school. Rather, I never felt like I had a choice. I felt like I just had one thing that I need to lean on, and that was the religion bit of it, and that's it. That's the only thing, the only marker for decisions in your life. And then when I was in uni, realizing that some of the questions I have about life, they are not in the Bible. So what do we do? So for me, that was where I realized I did not trust myself. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about what not trusting myself stole from me. Even though I'm young, I feel like it stole a lot from me, and I'm just gonna share some of those things with you guys. So if you like this video, if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's your girl at Miss Drusilla Ogola, founder and creator of this beautiful space.